one. Hey, everybody. I am Kevin Ioli. Thank you for joining me. And it is my pleasure right now to welcome Sheena Bathory. She is fighting in the co-main event of Power Slap 6. She is fighting a wrestler, a very accomplished wrestler, Jackie Catalyn, in the co-main event, as I mentioned. Sheena, welcome. Thank you. How you been?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm doing so great and so excited for my next upcoming fight.
You have made quite a name for yourself in your two fights. The first woman to win an official power slap fight again in your last fight. The first fight, I think that was the one that really went viral when you knocked Kortney Olsen, almost knocked her off the stage at her somersaulting. What has it been like for you as you have gotten attention and gotten recognition over these last few months for your exploits in power slap?
I think it's just a really good feedback. People appreciate me, what I'm doing, and I got even bigger support, huge fan base, which I'm very, very grateful for. And now here I am. I'm getting a really, really very exciting and tough opponent, which I'm really excited about. People sometimes asking me like don't you feel pressure, like people have so much expectation from me. I would just say it's like every event is a step to achieve some really, really high goals. So as a pressure, i'm I'm not really taking it as a pressure. I taking it as a bigger and bigger opportunity.
Very good. I know you're training in MMA at MMA Masters in Miami, so I'm going to get to that. But I want to ask you a little bit on the record about your judo background. So, could you ever imagine when you were coming up in Hungary as a black belt in judo and competing throughout Europe that one day you would have been a professional power slapper?
I never thought I'm going to be a power slapper. On my early 20s age, my dream was to becoming an Olympic champion in judo. However, I remember, I think I was 19 years old when I first discovered on YouTube, men, guys were slapping each other, and it was in the jail, some jail,
Right.
power slap competition. And I remember after every 3 4 months, I was looking up if there is some new, uploaded video, because I was like, there was some shorter guy, some bigger guy, and I was like, holy shit, how they didn't die, So I remember, like on my really young age, I already lied it. I was bad to becoming a female slap fighter. I was looking up. There were zero female fighter like slap fighter, and now I get this opportunity. This is it. Just prove itself that you don't know actually
Really?
where your life can end up sometimes.
That is so funny. What is it about the competition? Because a lot of your training doesn't prepare you for this. I know you've trained at high level in judo, you've trained at a high level in wrestling, you've trained at a high level in MMA, and footwork is big in those things. And this, you're not allowed to move your feet, right? So I mean, a lot of your training went away from this. So how is it that you decided to make a go of this? And has it been a difficult adjustment as you tried to learn how to slap without falling?
um I think it just was a little bit awkward in the beginning. Was actually one of the thing I really had to practice, because how is this called, like pivot when you are
Yeah.
pivot, yeah. So that I don't do that, like even naturally, because like you said, in judo, every sports you have to I need to have a little like a foot turn, so, and it's natural. So when you turn your body, your heel wants to naturally turn after. So but now I feel like I'm basically grounding. I feel like I try to like grip with my toes the ground, so it doesn't really move, and then just focusing on my hip and on my upper body, that it could give the biggest how to say, slap, yeah.
Impact, yeah.
Impact, yes.
So, as a combat sport athlete, you're used to being hit, but you're also used to being able to defend yourself, right? So now, as you're standing there and you got to put your hands behind your back. Now, you got, I think, 100 some million views for blowing a kiss at Christine Wolmarans after your last fight. After you got slapped in the first round, you blew a kiss at her and you took her slap pretty well. She was an MMA fighter. It was that a difficult adjustment to, not being able to defend, and I know you want to move your head or whatever because that's what they teach you in MMA.
No, no, I'm a totally different mindset when I'm doing power slap. Like I don't really feel myself there as an athlete. I'm more feeling myself as a as a hurt little girl who was abused in her past relationship, and this is the time to take advantage of it. It
Well, that
sounds silly, but inside is something like this is the thing is going on in me, you know.
whoever abused you is lucky that you're taking it out on somebody else and not on that person, because that the force you're landing with. Um, I talked to Jackie Catalyn the other day, and she mentioned that this is going to be the first time she's taken a slap. So she's been training with some of the slappers in Southern California, and is learning and working on the bob with striking accuracy. But she hasn't taken one before. Do you think that's an advantage for you going into the fight? The fact that the first time she's going to be hit is when you lay hands on her.
Uh, I honestly, this is the thing we can't really tell because I didn't know that I'm going to have advantage in my first power slap because this was the thing I ever tried out, and we actually discovered that my slap is super strong. I also able to eat the slap, and who knows, like I think now for Jackie, because she has no routine to go up on the cage or on the mat, and to actually holding back herself to making something totally different movement. I think it's now going to be more challenging for her in mind, how she's going to handle it. Because for me, the first was I was confused because I had no routine. I didn't know what how, so I try to just bring out the best, but it seems like she gets some guidance, which is good. Obviously now the internet over with many slap videos, so we can actually learn from. For me, I feel actually more confident because this is going to be my third one, so I know already how to prepare in mind, physically, because which I did before, it was very effective. So I keep doing this routine. For she's just a new thing. I'm really hope she can bring her best, so we can create a really amazing and huge fight. But I'm not going to give it easy, and I'm going to take my next knockout.
So what do one of the issues in MMA has been there's not really a lot of 145 pounders and up in the world. So in slapping there's not that many women fighters at all. Have you been recruiting women, and do you believe that there will be a full-fledged women's division and that you will one day get to wear a championship belt?
I definitely will go for it. My goal is not really the physical belt. The it's just a symbol, but I love always the journey to go there, to experiencing this kind of nervousness, what to discover what's the highest limit of my body, how can I actually manage it with my mind, the spirit, the connection with it. So the whole journey, physically and spiritually, that is what is actually makes me excited about the whole power slap thing. But obviously I want to reach the highest level as a female, and as the opportunity gonna allow me.
Do you want to do MMA at the same time as you're slapping? I mean, I know you're training. So is that something that you look to take fights and then compete alongside while you're as a power slapper?
I don't think it's going to bother each other. I think it's even could help. you know. So the more I'm training for MMA, the more is going to be for power slap too. You know, in both sports, we actually have to cut weight. So
Right.
I think it's just gonna be great. And we know that in MMA you are not getting fights like that. So
Right.
while I'm waiting for a next fight, I love competing. I truly love, you know. So then I'm like, I can fill out my waiting time period with MMA fight or with a slap fight, you know. So and then I would like to prove for my fans too that there is a lot more behind uh, the slap I'm actually carrying, because so many of them missed my judo and wrestling career, you know, and there are not so many videotape of it. It was back then, but now I'm like, look, I didn't forget, and I try to melt this together.
Let's wrap with this. Just talking about MMA. You're in your 30s. You haven't had a pro MMA fight yet. Have you had any amateur fights?
No,
MMA?
not yet. No, no, not yet. I
So
think in
no,
couple of months, I think I will be ready. I also not rushing. So even though I like to competing, I'm not an idiot that I'm running into something, you know, because as you said, I'm on my 30s. So I still have to, I realize that my body has a little bit more limits now, you know, so
right.
I have to take care that I don't get easily injured anymore, because the recovering time is even longer now, you know. So I have to do it smart. I have a courage, but I want to go when I feel that my boxing is actually really secured. I can defend my face, and the rest I'm going to take care of. But I'm still trying to improve a little bit more in boxing, and then I feel I'm going to be ready.
Well, you can see her doing her thing on Friday over at Durango. The fights are going to be live and free on Rumble. If you're in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl, head over to the Durango Casino. You can see Sheena Bathory take on Jackie Catalyn in the co-main event of Power Slap 6. Sheena, always fun to talk to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Kevin.